Alright, good afternoon everybody. Well, I just got back from the country and I had somebody that I ran into on Facebook Marketplace advertising a rocket stove, and I didn't know there was anybody local making them. I mean, they were about 70 miles north of me, and I drove up there today after they made some custom rocket stoves for me, or they made one custom rocket stove for me and two others that were typically about how you make them, but I had a couple of extra changes to them, and which I'll show you those in just a moment. But I think they look pretty neat, and here in a moment I'm gonna get ready to fire them up and make sure they all work properly and cook my dogs a breakfast here, or a lunch or a snack or something like that. So make sure they all work good, because we're gonna probably be using these a lot out in the country to, to conserve on power and just be able to cook, until we get established. So anyway, check them out. Alright guys, so this is the rocket stove that I had custom built for me. As you can see, it's quite different than your standard rocket stove. Most of them are single stack, like these over here. I had two smaller ones made that are just single stack, which are your traditional sizes. Normally you'd have this like split, or at least the majority of them that I've seen are only like the 3-inch opening, but you'd have it like split down for like an air chamber underneath. But the way the guy made these, down here in the bottom, down here in the center from the stack, it's open down in there, so that all the ashes fall down into this tray, and you can just tip it over lightly and you can run the ashes out of it. Makes it really easy. And this is your air inflow, and comes right up into the middle of the stack on both of these. Well, that's kind of an ingenious little design. So then normally what people do is they put like a grate down in the bottom, but it's an open square, hard to see at the moment. And then up on top, he originally had them designed with just 4 on there, but I thought it'd look neat and better for holding smaller pans if you put 4 smaller ones that are in like 3/4 of a range, 3/4 of a length in there. So anyway, on to the awesome custom one, the bigger one. This one cost me a little bit more, obviously, and I'd never in my life seen a dual stack or a dual burner rocket stove. I was like, can you make me one? And let's see if it works. He did not test it, but I'm about to. But before that, just like the other smaller ones, I had the 8-star plates put on top of it, and then custom centerpiece with a dog bone. And then one of my favorite parts here is a little lab face cutout. And I was originally going to get some high temperature tan paint to paint the dog and the bone, but it's like $25 for a can of spray paint, and I just don't feel like paying that right now. So I think it looks fine the way it is. And this is also a dual feed burner system, and I had them put doors on it, so that if I'm only using one side I can close the other, to test and adjust for airflow. And just like the other one, it's open in the center stack here, and all of the flames fall down into the center, and you just tilt it over and dump it out. Very simple, very easy design. So anyway, let's get some wood in these things and get them fired up here. I'm gonna get the camera over on a tripod to make this easier. So alright, looks like we're set up and ready to give this thing a test. I have never used one of these things before in my life, but as far as I know, you just feed some wood down inside of it. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is douse the ends here a little bit with some lighter fluid first before we dump them down in there. Easier to start. definitely going pretty good and coming out this one side really well. Immediately. I'm wondering, do a little bit of experimenting here for a moment. It looks like closing off that one side. It's starting to lick up on this one side a little bit, but it might just be an airflow issue. I need to, I'm going to put some wood down in this other side. See if that'll help any. Well, there we go. So yeah, looks like to make this thing work properly. Oh wait, no, now it's going to the other side a little bit more. Looks like you got to feed it on both sides. Maybe that's why they. I might just need to take a few minutes to really get it going. Oh, there we go. Now we got flames licking out of both sides. I was about to say that might be why people have never made a dual burner one, because it might not work as efficiently as a single burner. But it looks like it's I think it just takes a moment to get the fire going. Neato neato. I like it so far. I think it's pretty cool. Show you guys down in here, down in the chamber. You can see the chamber's open in the center. Allows for airflow coming down in through the bottom. Pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool. And there we go. When I close the air chamber, it looks like it was favoring one side there for a moment. But when I close these air chambers, then it started licking out of both sides. Pretty neat. Oh yeah, it is getting pretty warm. Alright, well, we're gonna let this get going. We're about ready. I'm gonna make the dogs a snack here in a moment. Alright guys, we're gonna got some pans on here and a good flame coming out. Both sides. This thing takes a good amount of wood to keep it going. Burns through it fairly quickly. Of course, I'm just using small pieces of kindling, so a little bit of oil in each pan. Ooh, the pan's actually pretty hot. And of course, we're going to test it out with some eggs. Get started. Over here on this side, we're going to just throw a bunch of ham in over here and just fry it up a little bit. Well, definitely not too shabby. It's our first time using a rocket stove. Of course, eggs aren't exactly the hardest thing to cook, but they turned out pretty nicely, it looks like. Chop. There's some feeding wood in here. I got some pretty good pieces of wood on this side. There's some big pieces of wood over on that side. Smaller stuff over here, but still feeding it. I'm surprised this thing does take a lot more wood than I thought it was going to. But still, it's just little kindling pieces. I probably haven't even used one or two logs of full-size logs of wood, and probably not even a full-size log of wood yet. Because I mean, these are just little kindling pieces. So far, pretty darn cool. I like it. Oh, heck yeah, that's good. Nice hot fried ham. I'm usually not a huge ham eater. This is pretty darn good. No true video isn't complete with cooking some bacon. So, I like ham, but I like it in bacon in ham sliced form more. I know, I'm weird. But hey, it's bacon. Don't. In the meantime, while the bacon's cooking, we're going to get these sandwiches set up for the dogs. Okay, that's right. One just came off the fire. Very, very hot. Very, very hot. I'm gonna make sandwiches, guys. I'm gonna make sandwiches. Everybody's getting two. I got them in. Don't touch. Bacon. For everybody who loves bacon, you must like and subscribe to this video so that I can keep doing more of these, especially once we get out into the country. I'm going to want to do all kinds of cooking videos on these things now that I know this thing works pretty damn good. Pretty fucking cool. Who knew that a dual burner would work so well? Since I've never seen anyone make one before. It does take more wood than I was expecting. But, you know, I've never used them before. I mean, I didn't use all of it. I still have quite a bit over there. I had that pit full over there. But it was mostly the smaller stuff, because that bigger stuff wasn't fitting in that tube with a bunch of other smaller stuff in there. So I think it'd probably be better if I just put a bunch of little small stuff in to get it started, and then start shoving in bigger logs around from behind. Looks like. And of course, probably not a good idea to have all these embers come out on a wood deck. I'll get those up in a moment. They're not any danger. But it would appear that our still looks like there's a good amount of airflow going through there. But there's a whole lot of ash down in there. And looks like we lost our flames a little bit. Not sure why. Still got wood in there. Plenty of wood. It's just not. Ow, ow. I put my hand down on the ground right onto one of these embers. Okay, no danger to the deck, but that hurt. There it goes. Yep, I think that's what it was. We just got too much ash down here. It's not letting enough air come through the chamber down there. So blowing on it gave me some more flames. Yeah, there we go. Some good old flames coming out. Not so much on that side, so that's okay. Bacon's done for the most part. Oh, yummy. How does everybody else like their bacon? This is just about perfect for me. I'm sure this is going to hurt, but try and eat some of this. Oh yeah, that's good. Maybe a little bit crispier. That is some yummy bacon. Heck yeah. Need to let it cool down a little bit though. It is very, very hot. So, anyway, this thing's pretty cool. It works quite well. These monsters are all hungry. They're like, Dad, we got all that food sitting right in our face, and we can't eat it. So, anyway, we're gonna feed the puppy dogs now. So, we'll be back in another video here in just a second. Puppy dogs, you guys look hungry. Kunye, and Moose, and Buddy, Cocoa Butt, Kappa, Kagali, and Natira. My gang of monsters. And they're hungry. As you guys just noticed in the first part of this video, we just finished cooking them some ham and egg sandwiches on our brand new dual burner rocket stove, which is pretty darn cool. Yep, ham and eggs. Heck yeah. And they are cool enough for them to eat. So, alright, let's start with a nice big old ham piece right here. Kune? You ready, Mr. Kune? There you go, Kune. Yum, yum, yum. Stay back. Do not touch them. Big old ham piece. Show my buddy. Go, buddy. Go, boy. Back up. get a big one for a Cocoa butt because she's a big girl. Ready for one, Coco? There you go, Coco. Good girl. Come on, guys, back up. Here, let me get over here. There we go, this will work better. Look at these yummy sandwiches, and all those wubby dogs sitting right in front of their food are like, can we have some? Alright, Natira. There you go. Good girl. Watch out, buddy. Moose. Good boy. Alright, Kappa. Get back. Now see? Look at that. Get back. Get back. We'll be back in a moment, guys. We need to fix this. Okay, we're back after picking this up off the floor because Copper knocked it off because he can't settle down. Anyway, let's get back to feeding this. I believe we were on Kigali. She did not get her first piece yet. There you go, Kigali. Don't touch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Copper ran in behind me, and I think he grabbed a piece of ham that went in behind me. So I'm leaving a piece of ham off of his. I don't see anything down here on the ground. So, Copper, here's your only egg. Alright, buddy. You ready for yours? Here's your second piece. Kune, here's your second one. Natira, that was supposed to go in Kune's mouth. Punk. Alright, Kune. Kune. Really, Coco? Kune, can you not put your mouth forward? Kune! Damn! Alright, get out of the way. Kigali. There you go. Alright, you guys all got one. Copper got one. Buddy got one. We got Moose left. There you go, Moose. Good boy. Alright, move. Lick the pan. Punks. I don't know why you guys... Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyway. Successfully different meal for the dogs. And quite a bit of mess to clean up now. Well, not a lot, but... pretty darn cool. Different. And these things worked pretty damn well. I like it. Anyway, I'm going to get back to eating my bacon. And I need to let this thing cool down, because it's still got some really hot embers in it. Need to clean up a little bit so that it doesn't fall out and set my deck on fire or anything like that while I'm inside or at work later tonight. So, anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love these rocket stoves. They're pretty cool. Or at least the dual one works pretty damn well. And hopefully here in the next day or so, we have another mild day. It wasn't really cold out today. I'm going to fire these two singles up and see how well they work. I'm assuming they're going to work just as good, if not better. So, because, like I said earlier, everybody makes single burner rocket stoves. I've never in my life seen a dual burner. I think they're pretty darn cool. So, if you guys are interested in who made these rocket stoves, I actually don't remember the guy's name. I think I was talking to his wife, and I think he mentioned his name to me when we met. I can't remember it though, but I've got his messenger contact, and if I can send it to people, if you guys are interested in talking to this guy and having these made for you, if you're in the nearby Missouri and Illinois area or Iowa area or whatever, I'm sure he'd be glad to make you some. So, anyway, bacon time and clean up, and then I go to work. You guys have a good night, and we'll be back again for another rocket stove video here soon. See ya.